Welcome back to Steve's Project Car Garage. My name is Steve, and sitting behind me is my 1969 Triumph Spitfire tanker. On today's episode, I'm going to be going ahead and starting to work on trying to remove this outer wheel arch. This was installed by one of the previous owners as a replacement panel. Once I get this removed, then I'm going to start being able to work on some of the metal down here, and then also on the lower B post. So stick around, it's going to be a great video. Alright, so look in here. This is a replacement outer wheel arch, and there's a bunch of these like booger welds, and some of them, as you can see here, don't even attach, to be honest with you. So the idea is to go ahead and pull this off so that way I can get some better access down here, so that way when I get to this stage I'll be able to repair this with a new piece of metal. But then what I'm really after is over here with the B-post. So as you guys know, I got my replacement piece from Rimmers for the B-post, which is going to fit somewhere like that. But I need to build up some of this here because this section's actually rotted out and the replacement post does not cover this. So my idea is to go ahead and just kind of cut this little piece out here and then see if I can go ahead and just fabricate a chunk of metal to go ahead and put this in. But I'm not able to do that to really get there without removing this. Sorry, that's image for the camera. When I won't be able to get there without removing this. So I figured with these being just a couple of booger welds, I might actually be able to easily get that done. So let's get cracking. Alright, so that wasn't terrible. I hope I didn't damage the wheel arch too much by pulling on it. I don't really think that I did. But you can see what we had to work with here. It almost looks like this was cut up by, a third grader. I don't know what to say. I mean, I knew that it was kind of wavy to begin with in the first part. Because when you looked up into the wheel arch, you could actually see kind of how bad it was. But look at this. This is insane. They can't cut a straight line for the life of them, and I thought that I was bad. Anyways, so I guess eventually, and not today, but my plan is to go ahead and zip this all up and then maybe just leave a nice like half-inch lip just on here so that way I can have something to set it on. And then I'm going to actually weld it a lot closer than these guys had. I mean, take a look here. These guys weren't even close. Weren't even close. So, anyways, there's that. But now to the subject matter, really. And who knows, maybe I will actually cut some of this out today. But the piece that I'm working on, it starts up here. And again, this is the B post. So this is going to come down here. You can see there's a definitive line. And it's this section here, this little tiny section, that I'm really worried about. Well, I won't say worried about, but focused on. So I got my replacement B-post panel, and so I had this mocked up from the other side, and it's something like this. When I have it from the other side, you can really see it better. But essentially, this does not get covered by it. I guess what my plan is to kind of just cut this out a little bit and see if I can just use a small piece of metal from like one of the sills that I got kicking around to just kind of close this up. And when you come on over to the other side, you'll see also over here, this is all rotted too. So I'll end up having to cut this out and again, weld in some new metal. We're going to try to focus on this little hole over here to start. Terrible. Great though. Well, you know, seeing as how I'm brand new to this, I don't think it's that bad. I think I did use about 10 pounds of wire on that though, but it's not terrible. This is gonna all be hidden anyways, so let's say for my first attempt at making a patch, not terrible. Alright, I'll take it. What we're gonna do now is use the grinder, grind this back a little bit, and see what it looks like. It's not pretty, but yeah, got one little hole here, one little hole here. And again, this isn't going to be all hidden, so I don't care what it looks like on this side, as long as it's good and strong. So I got a little hole here and here that I need to fill. So we'll fill those in. But I mean, other than that, I don't really see a lot of light coming through, which is good. I don't want any light, so let's go ahead and finish filling those holes. Alright, so as you can see, my welding job sucks. But it's solid for one, which is great. And this is going to be hidden, so I'm not too worried about it looking like that. And then from inside, it's not the cleanest in the world, but I mean, it's gonna do. And again, this will be hidden. When I do come in and I fix the pan back here, I will probably clean that up a little bit more. I need to get a smaller grinder though to be able to fit into little nooks and crannies like that, but for the most part, it doesn't suck, so I'm happy about that. Alright, let's keep cracking on. Alright, so I thought I would just go ahead and mock this up a little bit so you guys can kind of see what it is I'm thinking. You can see the patch panel here from Rimmers. Got it pretty much lined up quite well with that pass-through hole there for the rear wiring harness. And then as you can see here, that's where the strengthener panel will go ahead and meet. That goes, you know, across the sill. Come on over here. I know the lighting's not that great, and I'm sorry, but that's kind of my approach. Honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and cut right along there. I'm going to go ahead and mark this up, you know, with a pen, and then that's going to be my cutting point, to be honest with you. All right, well, I guess I've made my decision. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try to cut this out to get ready for that patch panel, because I do think that honestly getting up in here and trying to cut this and form this will be a lot easier if I can have some pretty straight access to it. So I'm going to use some tin snips, I think, honestly, because I can probably get the cleanest cut that way. I've found that I'm not the greatest with the grinder, so I guess it's a matter of kind of knowing where your weak spots are and just kind of working with what you're decent with. So fingers crossed I don't mess this up too much, because really only got one shot at it. That idea didn't last very long. That worked out nicely. And I just need to try to clean this up some here. I knew that was going to be a bear anyways, so let's see if I can just kind of cut that out, and then it's not too bad actually. I still need to cut this out. Should be able to just continue that line right across, so let's see if we can get that. A little bit of touch-up work, but I mean, that's pretty decent. I'll take it. That's a good little start. Let's see if I can try to nip that little corner off easily. I need to get better with the grinding wheel, that's for sure. Cool. Alright, so I got that little corner out. And, you know, it's not bad. No, it's not perfect. But, rarely things ever are. And again, this is all going to be completely hidden. This is all going to be structural. So, as long as it's strong, it'll be good. So this is going to be the next area that I need to really focus on. This section here is going to be for the lower crossmember, and unfortunately on each side it has completely rotten out. So what I'm going to end up having to do is I think I'm going to cut somewhere along here, cut this out, and then cut out here, and just try to weld in and make a new piece. And otherwise I got to replace the entire cross member, and I don't really feel like doing that. That's a lot more than I had bargained for. So fingers crossed, this should not be the worst job in the world. Again, it's going to be totally hidden, which is great. So yeah, I guess the next plan that I'm going to have to do is kind of try to make a template, I guess, of something. I don't have any, like I said, 18 gauge steel, but I don't know. We'll see what we can do. Alright, so I've decided that I'm going to just go for it. I'm going to just cut this out. I'm going to try to go nice and clean here. I'm going to get a clean cut along here. And then fingers crossed I don't end up damaging this too much and I can use it as a template. For reference purposes, I took a boatload of pictures just a moment ago of it. So fingers crossed I won't need them, but you know, it's a good thing to have those reference pictures. So let's cross our fingers and give it a go. Alright, so this is what I've given myself as a template to work with. It's not that great. But, I mean, come on. It's kind of like a U-channel, right? So we've got an edge on each side. It's got this little lip down here. So I have some ideas of how I'm going to make this. I believe that this is actually supposed to be a drain plug. Obviously, the drain plug really didn't work, otherwise we wouldn't have this issue, so I'm not going to worry about including the drain plug. So we will see. I'm just going to see if I can find some metal that's halfway decent in the garage to work with. Alright, so I got this little chunk of metal here. This was off of one of the sills. So I'm going to go ahead and just clean this up a little bit and we can use this. That works for me. So I'm running out of time for the night, but I'm going to go ahead and just clean this up a little bit real quick here so I can get this metal at least kind of ready. You maybe see that a little bit better. But it's kind of rusted here, and so I'm going to do my best just to try to give it a hit with this flap disc. This flap disc, by the way, now that I mention it, this is not a plug, but this is just straight up good information. This is from a company called Benchmark Abrasives. I saw a deal on Facebook, and I almost never ever hit Facebook deals, but their deal was for essentially $10 shipping. They will send you 10 of these flap discs. They're 40 grit flap discs. They're pretty aggressive. But I figured for $10 to get 10 flap discs, it's not a bad deal. They do bombard you with emails to go ahead and leave pictures and, you know, comments and stuff. But you know what? It's not bad. Not bad. I'll go ahead and I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll put the promo code that you can use. It's free mix, I think it is. I don't know. I'll look it up, but I'll put it on there. And it's cool. So for $10, you can check out these flap discs. They also do have other good abrasive, you know, cutting discs and different flap discs there. But yeah, cool stuff. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Now this one here that I have been using, as you can tell, it's definitely it's worn out. So I'm gonna try to get the last bit of mileage out of it here and clean up this metal, and then we're gonna call it a night. go. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a decent piece of metal. I'll hit this with some acid to go ahead and clean it up, and of course I'm just gonna nick this off to get rid of this thin metal here that I kind of burned through a little bit, but this should be good. So I need to make a better version of this with this. I think I can do it. All right, so thanks again for tuning in tonight. That's gonna wrap it up. If you notice, if you're got an eye for detail, you notice that the first part of my video was filmed on obviously a different day. The last week has been crazy for my family. We've got a sick family member. My son's sick. My wife was in a fender bender. And yeah, it's been a crazy last 7 days. I did get the projects upstairs done though, which is cool. So I did actually refinish the master, the guest bath upstairs. It looks great. So I'm glad I got that project out of my way. And I'm glad I got some good progress done here. Just kind of recap, you know, we got the lower B post cut and ready to go ahead and get patched in. Went ahead and I cut out that section of rotted crossmember, and I've got metal now that I'm going to go ahead and use to create a patch. And then lastly, we also went ahead and actually put in a patch for that lower B post already, where the main patch from Rimmers wasn't going to go ahead and work for us. So I'm pretty happy with the progress that we had today, especially tonight. Tonight was great. I've been super tired the last couple of weeks, and that's just kind of why I haven't gotten out here with all the other projects going on and baby's having some things. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe, click the bell, get notifications. I really appreciate all of you guys as being subscribers. It shows me that you're really interested and happy with what I'm doing, and I appreciate that because honestly, I'm a total novice, and frankly, if it wasn't for the YouTube channel and you guys, I probably would have given up on this project already. So you guys keep me going. So thank you. Other than that, you know, check me out on Instagram. I do post pictures every once in a while over there. And I'm also playing around with a t-shirt idea. So let me know if you guys would be interested in a t-shirt. I'm coming up with something that's like Tanker. It's got a picture of the car on the front and then Tanker on the back. It's kind of cool little shirt. I'm just playing around with it though. But let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. So outside of that, I hope that you guys all have a great evening. Thanks so much for tuning in, and please have a great, safe week. We'll talk to you soon.